And the question is, do gut issues have a relationship with anxiety and balance issues? So I'll take the anxiety one first. And if you Google gut problems and anxiety, or gut problems and depression, gut problems, ADHD, gut problems, autism, you're probably going to find a lot of articles that are fairly new that relate the two or connect the two areas. We have something called the vagus nerve, which is a cranial nerve. So it goes from the brain, it goes down to all the essential vital organs, one being the digestive system, stomach, the intestines. And they think there's some communication there between what's going on in the gut and what's going on in the brain. We also have a connection there through the bloodstream. So different hormones are being released, different bacterial byproducts are produced. And what's interesting there is that we have clues, or we have a relationship where we see how the gut bacteria, our microbiome, our beneficial flora, communicates with the brain. And that helps coordinate a lot of things. One they think it does is helps coordinate the immune system. So if you get exposed to something that's not good, you have some bugs move in there that are pathogenic that could cause an illness, your gut bugs are calling ahead for support before they get into the bloodstream. So it's interesting how that whole system works. But it's between those connections that we see there's some sort of relationship there between gut problems and psychiatric problems or brain-based issues. And that can go for depression, anxiety, ADHD, all that sort of stuff. And so that's very interesting area of research. And we can't say anything for sure at this point. But I think it's something that we're going to see more in the research in the future. As far as the balance issues are concerned, that's a little bit harder question to answer. I don't know of anything specifically between the gut and the balance or vestibular system that would make sense other than, well, I guess I do. I guess my answer to that, so do gut issues have a relation to balance issues? And I would say the connection could possibly be through neuroinflammation. So if you have inflammation in the gut, you have abnormal gut bugs, yes, bacterial byproducts are going to be given off. You may have an issue where you start to trigger inflammation in the brain area, and whether it's the cerebellum, which helps control some of our coordination and balance, or the vestibular system. When you have that neuroinflammation, it's going to affect the way those nerves fire and those nerve pathways fire. So there is a possible connection there. And I've seen issues. So one example of this is one of my first patients in functional medicine. She actually came from a couple hours away. My website's brand new. I throw it up there. And I get this email from this person a couple hours away wanting to see me for functional medicine because her daughter had seen someone in Jersey, I believe, and had really good results. So she wanted to see one as well. And I was the closest one to her. So she came down. She had tremors, and anxiety was one of her bigger issues. So it's not maybe balance exactly, but the tremors could be affecting her balance a little bit. But this just shows the connection between the gut and neuroinflammation in the brain. So the one thing we did was we changed her diet up, and she was eating healthy overall, but there were a few things that she was eating that can cause some inflammation, especially if she has leaky gut or something called leaky brain, or she was having some sort of immune reaction that was then triggering inflammation of the brain. So we changed the diet. We took those foods out of the diet. For her, one specifically was gluten and wheat. She was eating great, but she was eating a lot of whole grains because she thought whole grains were good because of the fiber. Within 6 weeks, her tremors, she reported, were down 80%. And the anxiety that she got was from having the tremors all the time and trying to sleep with her scalp twitching in her hands, the tremors in her hands. So all that was gone. Anxiety was basically gone. So yeah, there's definitely a connection there between the gut and then what's going on in the brain. So good question, Danielle.